Jim Likens here. I'm going to talk tonight about a subject that in the past has got me in trouble, and I'll explain that briefly. But tonight we're going to talk about kicking a man in the balls. I'm talking about taking a booted foot and just planting it right smack dab in the baby makers. I'm talking about ball kicking, and that's my subject. Now, why did this get me in trouble? Well, I did most of my career in law enforcement in Indiana, and the last 3, 4 years I did in Colorado. And about 2012, I was working in a Colorado law enforcement capacity. And I put up a YouTube video because I also teach martial arts about ball kicking. Now, in the commercially bought program where you come into the department and we run PPCT, or we do Krav Maga here, the FBI, so whatever. They have different names for all the techniques because that's really what you're paying for is just names. A punch is a punch is a punch is a punch. So you'll see the ball kick often referred to as an A-frame kick, where they go into great detail about how we're not really trying to kick the balls, we're just kicking where the support section for the pelvic, whatever. You're kicking them in the balls, and it's effective and it works. In fact, I think the only time ball kicking doesn't work would be drug use, heavy alcohol. There's got to be some mitigating factor chemically or sometimes mentally that prevents the ball kicking from working. But on any normal, even geeked up on I'm a little drunk and I lift weights and I'm a meathead and I'm fighting at the bar, you hit them balls, you're going to get results. But there are some problems with ball kicking. For starters, human males are hardwired not to get kicked in the balls. I mean, you can take a drunk dude or even some guy who's just jacked up mad at you, and if you just throw a punch at their face, they may or may not react to it. But you flinch a knee like you're going to kick a ball, and they've already got their thigh in front of it, and they're hopping back 2 feet. We're like hardwired to protect that. So if your goal is to kick balls, it's best to do it when they aren't watching you actually kick their balls. Because you're going to have to deal with like autonomic reflexes beyond conscious thought. And it's an obstacle, but you can do it. You can get around that problem. God knows I did. I kicked quite a few dudes in the balls. But that's for another time. Another problem with kicking the balls is the pain isn't always immediate. Sometimes a good ball kick is the gift that keeps on giving. It's a forget-me-not. Like, you didn't feel it at the time, maybe, but that was Tuesday, it's Friday, and now you can't walk. You'll remember that kick to the balls. Yeah. Those are some problems. So you can't count on a good kick to the balls as a fight ender, but you can bank on the fact that they're going to remember that shit in a couple of days. It don't go away that easy. What are some of the benefits of kicking the balls? Like I said, I've kicked a lot of balls, and I think that a good ball kick has a higher success rate than a taser, but less success than OC spray. If I had to, that's pepper spray if you're not law enforcement. The ball kick does work, but there are times when, like I said, this is a delayed gratification technique. This is, it's okay because I'm on like a 5-day plan with you. And in day 3, you're going to remember Edward Rooney. And that's a Ferris Bueller's Days Off reference if you didn't catch that. I think the ball kick works better than the taser, but less than OC spray. And that just depends on the physical, mental state of the people you're kicking in the balls. Some guys, if they're drunk enough, they're not going to feel it immediately, but they're not going to feel a broken shoulder either. So, the whole, well, I'll just armbar them and dislocate their shoulder with an American, whatever. If they're drunk enough, they're not going to feel that anyway. And the ball kick certainly falls into that category. But for the most part, if you land it, you're going to see some pretty immediate results. Even if they don't feel it fully, they're gonna react. They're gonna slow down. It's a good distraction for follow-up techniques. That's for sure. And most of the time, I say 75% of the time, that is the ending movement. As a ball kick, they go down, and after that, they're compliant. I could, but I don't want to implicate former departments I worked for in these videos. But it was in the top 20 largest city in the country. I kicked a lot of balls. I never got in trouble for it in court, litigation wise. And I know I didn't have to confuse a jury with fancy words. A-frame kick instead of I kicked him in the he was trying to hit me. I kicked him in the balls. I just answered that way and I was fine. It's been a while since then. That was the 90s, 2000s, early. Maybe you guys today have more to deal with than we did back then, which is probably the case. Let's talk about though now who gets kicked in the balls. And now that I'm not in law enforcement anymore, I have come to realize there are more people in need of ball kicking than I ever imagined. And you see, I used to have a take-home police car everywhere. I didn't even own a car for years. Why would I? I never left the county, and free gas. People tend to drive really well around you when you're in a police car, even off duty. It's everybody's following the rules. When you start driving an unmarked civilian, not police vehicle, you realize there are people out there. They don't only need it; they're asking to be kicked in the balls. They might as well have a big sign on the back of their Priuses that say, "When I pull over, please come kick me in the balls." There's people at the grocery store that want to argue about why their debit card isn't going through, and that I don't give a shit. It has been 15 minutes and we haven't moved because you don't understand why your bank account doesn't match how much the grocery. That would be a candidate for ball kicking. Now, I don't do that because, as much as I want to fight the man now that I'm not the man, I follow all the rules. And it's embarrassing. I don't speed. My wife gets mad because I do this, whatever. And when you guys retire, you're going to do the same shit I do, but you're going to see people and you're going to be like, they need a kick right in their balls, hard. I mean, just smashingly hard. So anyway, that's my take on the A-frame kick. And I know you guys kick balls. I used to kick balls. I don't kick balls anymore. I miss it. Yeah. I sit around. I think about it. I've tried kicking other things out in the backyard. I've got like a sandbag. It's not the same. It's not the same. If you're in a job, you're a bouncer, security, law enforcement. If you're in a job where you have the opportunity to kick balls, take it. There will be a time in your life when you're not allowed to kick balls anymore, and all you can do is talk about it. All right then. This is Jim signing off.